I turn all shades of pink. I wanna touch you but don't wanna be weird. It's such a rush, I'm thinking wish you were here. And I'm just tryna play it cool now, but that's not what I wanna do now. And I'm not tryna be with you now, but I could be a crush, like throw you for a rush, like hoping you text me so I could tell you I've been thinking about your touch, like touch, 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 touch. I could be a crush, 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 crush. I got a fascination with your presentation, making me feel like you're on my island, you're my permanent vacation. Touch, 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 touch. I could be a crush, 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 crush. Sorry.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the stream. Wow, you guys, thank you for hanging out on this beautiful Thursday evening or early Friday morning if you're watching from Russia or anywhere else in the world. Happy quarantine. You know, whatever. It's fine. Hi, everybody. Hi, Basil, Life Geek, Abby, Morgan, some totally random Swedish dude. Is that Eric? Ham, Junia, MJ, BM. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for coming to the stream. We're going to have a pretty special show today. Later, we're going to have on the one, the only, my longtime producer, Seth Earnest himself. So if you guys have any questions specifically around production, how to get started, what is the job of a producer, or about my song specifically and our production choices, feel free to ask them. But for now, we're gonna play some songs. Let's fade out this crush. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Born to do.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. I got too many windows going. I really need two monitors to do this effectively. All right, we're gonna open the show today with Bad Ideas because it's my personal favorite from the record, and we're gonna be talking about the record quite a bit today. So this is Bad Ideas by me. We do stand Seth. That's true. Shout out Seth if you're watching.
I hope that you don't think I'm rude, but I wanna make out with you. And I'm a little awkward, sure, but I could touch my face to yours, oh. And no one ever called me smooth, but I just wanna see the grooves between your hands, your teeth, oh. Tell me, do you think about me? I just wanna kiss you, and even if you miss you, at least I'll know what it's like to have held your hand, oh. No, hey, bad ideas, hey, oh, I know where they lead, but I got too many to sleep, and I can't get enough, no, I wanna kiss you standing up, oh no, and if tomorrow makes me low, no, will it be worth it just to know, 'cause I can't get enough, no. I just saw that Seth is in the chat, so we know I got him on him real quick. Come on now. Enough, no. I wanna kiss you standing up. Oh. Beep, 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 beep. Hey! I don't know what compels me to do the very thing that fells me. I wake up still high on you, but by the night I'm crashing through. So why I'd wanna kiss you even though I'll miss you? Guess I just wanna know what it would feel like. Oh no, hey, bad ideas, hey, oh, I know where they lead, but I got too many to sleep, and I can't get enough, no. I wanna kiss you standing up, oh no. And if tomorrow makes me low, no, will it be worth it just to know? 'Cause I can't get enough, no. I wanna kiss you standing up, oh. Smitten's a bad look on me, and if I'm talking honestly, it takes everything I got not to text, and I just want a kiss to get me through. 'cause now all my bed sheets smell like you. So if you think you miss me, come on back and kiss me. I just gotta know what you and I would feel like. Oh no, hey, yikes, bad ideas, hey, I know where they lead, but I got too many to sleep and I can't get enough. No, I wanna kiss you standing up. Oh no, and if tomorrow makes me low, no, will it be worth it just to know? 'Cause I can't get enough. No, I wanna kiss you standing up. Oh, beep 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 beep.
Hey. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Hey everybody, how we doing? Just gonna change one setting for myself real quick. Oh shoot, I forgot to tell Twitter that we're live. Hold please. How do I get the link? I'm gonna just grab it because I sent it to Seth earlier. Wee! Copy. If you're watching this after the fact, sorry that I'm just going to be on my phone for a second while I tweet about it and stuff. How about I get some songs going? That makes way more sense. Well, if we're still figuring it out, let's hear a classic, a Tessa Violet song. One of our big faves in this family. Feeling. Oops, I got it all the way muted.
Pretending I'm okay. And I love a sinner, 'cause we look the other way. But I've been going under, pretending that I'm okay. I'm a girl of thunder, wishing all the world away. Like wine with dinner, I talk but I don't say. How I've been feeling, how I've been feeling about all of these feelings. Oh, do you want me now? How I've been feeling, pretending I'm dealing without, but I ain't feeling. Oh, do you want me out? Was it easy deciding you're not mine? Do you feel me? Do I ever cross your mind? And I hate that you affect the way I feel at all. I don't deserve to find my footing just to fall in. Wine with dinner, I talk but I don't say. How I've been feeling, how I've
You know,
been.
it's interesting. This song, when we were working on it, I kind of went back and forth about it. It's a different chord progression than I usually am drawn to, and also, I don't know, even when we were done with it, I was like, yeah, I'm feeling. I really like this song, but also, it's kind of an oddball. And it wasn't until the album came out that I was like, oh, this song is actually super amazing. I think it's one of my favorites now. It's just so, I don't know. I like the lyrics a lot.
That I can't take back, and I don't think I can open up the door. I'm afraid to give a voice to what I'm wanting for, so I don't, or I can't, or I won't. But it's like I'm going crazy, thinking about how I've been.
Very cool. We are big stands of feeling here at this family. All right, we're back, you guys. Sorry I didn't tweet it during the beginning. I was getting set up on other realms. Woohoo! Woohoo! It's so good. Thank you. No, I love you. All right, let's play games.
I don't want a piece of that, 'cause I know there's no peace in that. I can tell myself 1,000 times, but you can make a toy of me, and I'll agree that maybe I just couldn't see that there ain't nothing wrong with us at all. But you keep on playing games with me, games, and you always gotta play with me, play. And I hate the way you break and you take and you tear me down. Boy, you really ought to knock it off right now. Games with me, games, and you always gotta play with me. Play, and I hate the way you break and you take and you tear me down. Boy, you really ought to knock it off right now. I know I should trust my gut, 'cause I know that there's something up. I just hate the place that path would lead me down. And you say that there's nothing wrong, and I long to take you at your word, but then all along you're hiding even when you're by my side. And you keep on playing games with me, games, and you always gotta play with me. Play, and I hate the way you break and you take and you tear me down. Boy, you really ought to knock it off right now. Games with me, games, and you always gotta play with me. Play, and I hate the way you break and you take and you tear me down. Boy, you really ought to knock it off right now. You're lying, and everything with you is trying. And I don't wanna keep on crying if I'm the only one. And I've been telling everyone I'm fine, but I feel like I lost my mind. Am I the only one? If I knew it all along, was I wrong to take you at your word? But then all along you're hiding even when you're by my side. And you keep on playing games with me, games, and you always gotta play with me. Play, and I hate the way you break and you take and you tear me down. Boy, you really ought to knock it off right now. Games with me, games, and you always gotta play with me. Play, break and you take and you tear me down.
And breaking in my voice.
Boy, you really ought to knock it off right now. You're lying, and everything with you is trying. And I don't wanna keep on crying if I'm the only one. And I've been telling everyone I'm fine, but I feel like I lost my mind. Am I the only one? To knock it off right now.
Woohoo! Woohoo! That reminds me, I have a new mix of games I'm supposed to listen to. Spoilers, Seth, we're not actually allowed to talk about it yet, but I am aware that there's a mix I haven't heard yet that I need to give you some notes on. Anyway, here's Words Ain't Enough.
You're fire, you're proud.
By the way, the new mix on this sounds amazing.
And you're cold when it counts. It's open and shut. You can say you love me, but words ain't enough. You want me, you say, but then you turn away, and I'm pressing my luck. You can say you love me, but words ain't enough. Cut myself into pieces, easy to chew. Carve me up into someone you'd like to choose. today. No, no one really knows me. Don't know what to say. All I know is that I'm lonely. But I don't fuck around. I remove you with a cleft. But now I put you down. I'm afraid of nothing left. God, I want a touch of something new, something I can keep. All I know is everything I do don't bear me no relief. It's my button on, I bought it off the shelf. I've been telling all my friends, I've just been working on myself. Wish that I could learn to trust someone would want to put me first. But I can't date no hope while I'm bracing for the worst. God, I want a touch of something new, something I can keep. All I know is everything I do don't bear me no relief. God, I want a piece of something new, something I can hold. All I know is holding back won't help me learn to let it go. Oh, oh. I woke up today, no one really knows me. Don't know what to say, all I know is that I'm lonely.
Woohoo! Yes! Aurora, you should learn how to play ukulele. Why not? YOLO. It's so empowering when you learn how to play an instrument. And it's fun that as you keep playing it, you'll like get to spaces where you're like, this is how good I am at guitar, and then you'll just like get a breakthrough or ukulele, whatever, and then be like better at it. And you'll be like, wow, that's fun to just kind of have these random level ups every now and then. Do you guys mind if I play a new one? Again, if you've been watching the streams, it's not new to you. An unreleased one is how I should really introduce it. Oops. This song's called All My Love.
If you go into the kitchen, leave the door ajar a crack. 'Cause I just wanna keep on listening.
Oops.
'Cause I just wanna keep on listening. And I can't wait until you're back. God, I love it when you're near me. I love the lines around your eyes. And all at once I see clearly. And I spend a lifetime by your side. And I'll give you all my love. I'll give you all my love. Ain't no symphony, no VIP. There ain't no sweeter drug than just giving you my love. Anything you want, you got it. If it's mine to give, you have. And I'll give you all my love. I'll give you all my love. Ain't no symphony, no VIP. There ain't no sweeter drug than just just giving you my love. Da-da-dee, da-dee, 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 da-dum. Then just giving you my love.
Wow, 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 wow. I like that one so much. Don't lean away the mic. You want your ears to bleed from my talent? I think your ears might bleed from me whistling into the microphone. So we got to look out for those little earsies. All right, tell you what, for this next song, we're going to do a game. We're going to do a song request. I'm going to play a song, and whoever can guess the name of the artist, whoever says the name of the artist and the song title, what are words, gets to pick what song I play next. So give those typing fingers a break because I got slow chat on, so I don't want anyone to miss it. Okay, here we go. What song am I going to have us do? Again, whoever can name the artist and the song title first, you get to pick what song I play next. Here we go. I've got it all the way muted. That one didn't count. Neither did that one. Here we go.
You call me up, say that you've been busy, but something made you just reach out. And we meet up, tell each other stories about how we've been since we last talked. Our coffee date moves into the evening. We wonder how it got so late. We walk around and I'll keep asking how. I don't know better by now. You try but you can't shake
Yes,
me.
I see Lee Brady got it. Not Over You by Tessa Violet, by user in the chat at Tessa Violet. Correct. We got to do my songs today because we got my producer on later. Lee Brady, what would you like me to play? Let me know what song you want me to sing out, and I will sing it out.
Baby, I'm not over you. Ooh, ooh. I 1, 2, 3. You wear your clothes like you're trying to impress me. You roll your eyes, 'cause I keep my room messy, and you think we're too old for that. But I gotta know how you can tweet but you can't text me.
This song is quite a bop. Oh, I can't wait to play music live again. You know, in a venue.
But I keep asking how.
Make Me a Robot? Of course, I'd love to play Make Me a Robot. Excellent choice, Lee Brady.
I think we're going crazy. Keep saying that we're through, but baby, I'm not over you.
Wow. I'm so glad I got one last college show in before everything got locked down. I got to play one at the beginning of March. Woof. Okay, we're going to play Make Me a Robot. This song's about being an anxious little bitch. And it goes out to Lee Brady. Lee Brady, this one's for you.
I don't wanna be a human anymore, I'm done. I don't wanna have to feel anymore, he's one. I'm too old to change. Take my heart, no new start, please just let me fall apart. You may say it's strange, but I quit, guess that's it. For a human I'm unfit, so make me a robot, make me a robot, make me cold. Make me a robot, make me a robot, take my soul. I don't wanna have to fight anymore, I'm tired. I don't wanna have to feel anymore uninspired. I'm too old to change. Take my heart, no new start, please just let me fall apart. You may say it's strange, but I quit. Guess that's it. For a human, I'm unfit. So make me a robot, make me a robot, make me cool. Make me a robot, make me a robot, take my soul. To human is to air, forgiveness is divine. I don't care, you can take my spine, 'cause I'm spineless anyway. I don't need another day or a call, take it all. I don't wanna be a human anymore, I'm done. I don't wanna have to feel anymore, he's one. So make me a robot, make me a robot, make me cool. Make me a robot, make me a robot, take my soul. Make me a robot, make me a robot, make me cold. Make me a robot, make me a robot, take my soul.
Whew, it's a good one. Yes, Live Make Me Robot is the best Make Me Robot. I agree with that completely. All right, you guys, it's 7:30. You know what time it is. It is time for us to bring on our guest for the show today, Seth Earnest. I'm going to get some transitional music playing, and then we're going to bring him on up. Whoa, okay, I need to get better at my transitions. Sorry, everybody. What would I like to hear? You know what? I'm going to play my fave, the classic. What's up?
Make out with you, and I'm a little awkward, sure, but I could touch my face to yours. Oh, and no one ever called me smooth, but I just wanna see the grooves between your hands, your teeth. Oh, tell me, do you think about me? I just wanna kiss you, and even if I miss you, at least I'll know what it's like to have held your hand. Oh, no. Fails me. I wake up still high on you, but by the night I'm crashing through. So I'd wanna kiss you, even though I miss you. Guess I just wanna know what it would feel like. Oh, no, oh, hey, bad ideas, hey. I know what they mean, but I got too many to sleep, and I can't get enough. No, I wanna kiss you standing up. Look at me, and if I'm talking honestly, it takes everything I got not to text. And I just want a kiss to get me through, 'cause now all my bed sheets smell like you. So if you think you miss me, come on back and kiss me. I just gotta know what you and I would feel like. Oh, no, hey, yikes. Bad ideas, hey. I know what they mean, but I got too many to sleep, and I can't get enough. No, I wanna kiss you standing up. Oh, no. And if tomorrow makes you low, no, would it be worth it just to know? 'Cause I can't get enough. No, I wanna kiss you standing up.
welcome to the stream, the one, the only Seth Earnest, who's gone now. Seth, I lost you. Where'd you go? We got some, as I like to call them, technical difficulties. Wow. Did I not admit you? Where are we at? Okay, hold please. Whee! Paging Seth Earnest. I do know I have Brazilian fans, but thank you for reminding me. We stan. He ghosted us. It's true, he did. Beep, 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 beep. Hey! I think we got him. Yes. Hello! Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Speak.
Yes.
Yes!
Check, check.
He's here. He's on the stream. We got him. Let me get you on camera. Sorry. Technical difficulties. We stan him. How are you? How's your evening? How's Nashville?
I'm great. My evening is great, and Nashville is also great.
We stan all these things. Everybody who doesn't know, Seth Earnest is my producer, longtime collaborator.
Hi, everybody.
We've been working together since the very, very beginning. Seth, I know I told you I'd prepare you, but I forgot to prepare you for this. Will you please give us a little, I would love to hear from the man himself, your journey from like, I'm going to be a drummer into producer, into us meeting each other.
Short version. I grew up playing drums since I was 3 or 4 years old. I loved music early on. Both my parents played music and were in bands and all that sort of thing. So I was able to, get into it that way. Fast forward, I was in band in high school, did all that thing. I went to music school for college actually. And then after that, I got on the road full time for several years as a drummer. And then I'm doing the super fast overview here. And then during my time on the road, I also started to get into sort of producing and engineering and mixing a little bit. And so I was able to learn enough to start to transition into doing more production, more writing, more on the making of music side. And even looking back on my history, that was always sort of my favorite part of music was the front end of music, making it. So fast forward, I worked with a guy named John Zappin for many, many years. And he brought me out to a place called Maker Studios, which was in Los Angeles. And that's where I met you. So
that's how we met. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the super condensed story.
Yes, that's amazing. For those of you who don't know, like Maker Studios was a multi-channel network, which was like a YouTube thing back when I was a YouTuber, and I started writing these songs, and I was like, the gift of not knowing, I had a boldness perhaps I would not have now, where I was like, I'm just going to ask if anyone knows any producers. I've written 5 songs. That's enough to ask a producer if they'd produce the songs, Yeah. And reached out to John, who was the only person I knew that like was at all like had a finger in the music world, and was like, do you know any producers? I want to find someone who's intensely like creative with a lot of ideas, but also really nice because I'm very fragile and easily crushed. And he's like, I know exactly the dude.
Yep.
And I remember we like met over a like Skype call. It would have been at the time. Now it's Zoom. And he's like, this is Seth. And I remember thinking, I don't know about this guy. But I was like, sure, whatever. And went down to LA for a weekend for an unrelated thing, but we ended up working on 2 songs. I think one of them was Sorry, I'm Not Sorry. And the other one was a song that never got released, nor needs to be spoken of. And like that first version of Sorry, I'm Not Sorry, I remember had like accordion on it. It was a whole different thing.
It did. It was like a if we decided to be an Eastern European folk band,
Yes.
trying to make pop music.
Seth, I'm so lucky that like I got paired up with you, because like now I look back on those early days in the studio and like, here's the thing, you just don't know what you don't know, and there's no reason to ever make fun of someone for like not knowing something, or for like acting in a way that like you don't know what you don't know, and you have a wonderful gift for like never making people feel ashamed for not knowing something. But I look back on how much I did not know, and I'm like, I could have been brutalized by someone else because you were like, what are your influences? And I'm like, and I could like name literally less than 10 bands. Like I was writing music, but like not listening to that much music. And like now the idea of that, like, again, you don't know what you don't know. So in some sense, I'm like, whatever, it is what it is. We're all learning. But in another sense, I'm just like, Tessa, what are you thinking? How embarrassing. Yeah. Incredible.
No, it's great. It's great. That's actually, when I was little, I was a very, very inquisitive kid in person, and I can remember distinctly the people who would make me try to feel dumb about asking questions, and the people who helped me and enjoyed me asking questions. And I remember how that made me feel, and I remember a very deep sense of I'm never going to make people feel that way.
Wow.
Because it's horrible. So
it is horrible. Yeah. I think that it's probably something I had to unlearn. I think I am. If someone asks something dumb, like there's a part of me that wants to be like, you idiot. I think because
sure.
I had the opposite experience in my childhood. Someone made me feel dumb, and now I need to make other people feel dumb.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that happens a lot,
Yes. But I think I've mostly unlearned that. But I have 2 people in my life right now who, like, every time I ask a question, kind of like no matter what, their response is always, that's a great question, which is such an affirming way to speak to someone who's like just being curious. And I think I think that language is going to sneak into my language, and I'm excited about that. I've been thinking a lot about how encouragement is contagious. And when you have people in your life who are really like sweet and encouraging to you, like you can't help but be sweet and encourage the people around you.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Yes, we stand. By the way, I know I like prepped you. I'm like, here's the things we're going to talk about, but we can literally talk about whatever. I think I told you Julian Nunes and I just talked about like existence and meditation for an hour.
Yes. Well, great.
But speaking of being encouraging and encouraging people, I think I have a lot of people in my crowd who are singer-songwriters or aspiring producers, or just people who are in general kind of curious about like the behind the scenes of music, and what does it mean to maybe be a producer. I get questions a lot. People ask me like, how do you add drums to your music? And like what program do you use to produce it? And I'm like, these are literally not me questions. Like, I have never added drums to a song of mine ever. That's all Seth. And like, when I bring a song to Seth, like, it is literally a shitty voice memo that like which is something that I've also learned is different from like not every producer, writer, artist experience is the same. Some producer, artist duos like write together, which Seth and I don't. I'll bring in like a song on guitar and voice, and I'll be like, that's the bones of it. Let's make it a real song. What was my question? I'm sorry. I had a
I think your question was basically, what is a producer?
What is a producer? And I throw it to you.
It can be multiple things. The broad sort of definition is someone who takes a musical idea, whatever that is, lyrics, melody, song, arrangement, whatever form that musical idea is, and they help take the idea from just an idea to a presentable piece of music that can be shown to the world. That's like the broadest definition of a producer. So,
I think that's a great definition.
Yeah, and so it's broad because a lot of people can say, well, that's what every band does, and it's like, yeah, that's true, because most bands and artists do have an element of self-producing in them, because they want to, they know how to take their ideas and present them to the world. So as you get more specific, then most hired producers or producers who are brought in to help a band and help an artist, what those roles for producers generally are is to help amplify ideas, to help sort of hone ideas. Producers can be used to help execute vision, like, hey, we're hearing a string section on this thing, like, but I'm just a kid from Arkansas. I don't know how to hire strings, and so a producer can be the person who sort of puts all the pieces together. Oftentimes, a producer on a song or an album helps sort of forecast vision of that project, and also make sure that the ship is maintaining on that vision course. And then all the way into and then each genre now has sort of different definitions of what a producer is. And so a lot of the things I was just saying are sort of the traditional producer role, where there's a band and they just need help to get their albums done. When you come into the pop world and the hip hop worlds, especially, producer nowadays can mean I'm the person who actually makes the music or the beats.
Yeah.
And so it's a very, very broad definition. Yes. But generally a producer helps an artist go from point A to point B.
We stand.
Yeah.
Seth, sorry to throw you here. Can you turn your audio down a little bit on your end?
On my mic?
Yes.
Hey.
Sorry,
1,
everybody.
2.
Great. That was my bad. Some people were blaming you for that mix, but that's me on the end. I ultimately have to decide on the mix. So sorry, everybody. Sorry. Seth, I got some questions for you from Patreon.
Great.
Beep bop ba dum. Oh my gosh, my favorite question to ask Seth. Zach asks, what is your most and least favorite song to produce by Tessa, and why?
Oh my goodness.
Yes, on the spot. It's okay. You can give the answer you always give me.
The answer that I always give is I don't really ever have any favorites or least favorites. Just let's see. But to try to answer the question, there's songs that have been difficult in the process to produce with you, and
Yes.
it's mostly because we haven't found. I like, as you've heard me say 1,000 times. Like, until a song finds its legs, it can feel like you're sort of lost and sort of and you start to feel super dumb, like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I should just quit. Like, and so we've had a couple of challenging songs like that. I'm trying to think. It took us a minute to find for the song Wishful Drinking. Took a minute to find its legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Honest did too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We kind of had like one that was like a huge version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find that version? I asked Seth if he could
I did.
Yes.
I found a huge version of Wishful Drinking, and it was like super like 21 Pilots drums, and yeah.
Wow, that's funny. I don't remember. I have to hear it now because I don't remember that. Yeah. So,
okay.
Again, it's different for different people. Like, me and Seth will kind of like wander around to, I don't know. Some songs like present themselves immediately. Like, Bad Ideas came together on the first day. And then some songs, it's like you bring it in and you try an idea and it doesn't work. So then you like come back to it 2 weeks later and you try like something else and it still doesn't work. And then you come back to it 2 weeks later and you like can pick apart different parts of it and try and figure it out. But I don't know. But I would love to hear that version of Wishful Drinking. I haven't heard it since whenever day we were working on it.
Yeah, I can play it right now.
Yes, please. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I forgot about this.
Separate me from the rest of the hurt so I can run away from all of my hurt.
Always trying to get that beat in everything I do, or the strokes.
I can pretend that I don't want to and I'm afraid. Leave a story so I don't have to talk, no.
So
it's less cool, but it does.
It's very less cool. But, you know, what's interesting about this is that, you know, for people who are interested in production, let me back this up a little bit, is that songs sort of find their path. And if you really listen close to this, there's still parts of this that are in the final version.
Yeah, the drums, right? I mean, not the sounds, but the
Yep. And actually, that guitar, we made it into the outro chorus.
And it's pitched an octave down.
But I pitched it down an octave and like put it underwater. Yeah, exactly. So that's what's interesting about producing and, you know, working through ideas is that like the seeds are almost always there, and so it's a matter of like, okay, that's the right seed, but it's the wrong execution of that seed. So it's always a matter of, you know, so.
Wow, amazing. Thank you for playing that for us.
Yeah.
If you want to hear the original next to it, y'all can look it up after. Yeah, stream my songs. What were you gonna say? And then on the other side of it, favorite, I really enjoyed working on Bad Ideas, because that was, for people who don't know, you know, here again, like we had started the album, what is now Bad Ideas album, and she had sent me several memos and demos and stuff, and we had some ideas going, and then when we landed on Bad Ideas on that one day, and you brought it in, it was a newer tune, I think, or almost maybe even brand new. Before.
Yeah, okay.
About that guy that I just hooked up with. Don't worry about it, everybody. But oh my God, this is coming back to me. Ugh, I'm such, whatever. This is who I am. I like had this fling with this guy. Don't worry about it. Came to the studio the next day and I was like, yes, Seth, made out with somebody. It was awesome. I like had just gone through a breakup, so like love that rebound energy. I was like, I'm having such a great time. I feel amazing. And I feel like you said something like, we'll see how where this mood leads in like 5 hours.
That's funny.
Show enough.
Yeah.
About 5 hours later, I'm like, such an addict. I'm like, I need more, and I'm sad now, and I can't get enough of this. I need more of this experience. And I went home that night and I wrote that song, Bad Ideas, and I just wrote it on piano, and I came in and it was such, but I want to hear you tell it. You go.
Yeah, and so you brought that in, and we started to play around. I think we stumbled on the Mellotron thing first.
I remember you saying, are you hearing this on Mellotron? And I was like, of course I am.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Mellotron is an old instrument from the 50s or 60s, probably 60s. And if you know Beatles music, it's the intro sound on several of their songs. Strawberry Fields Forever is one that comes to mind.
I didn't know this. Seth loves the Beatles.
I do. It's actually was an analog sampler that it's a keyboard. This is boring. No, look it up.
It's interesting. It's fascinating.
Okay, so a Mellotron looks like a keyboard, and it has actual reels of tape on each key, and that is actually playing samples that have been that have been recorded onto that tape in loops. And so they, did a flute and a cello and a choir. And so you can actually play these things as a sample. So anyway, the main sound of Bad Ideas in the first verse is that's a mellotron sample of some
flute.
I think some flutes. Yeah. So we got that going, and then we got into that big chorus, and we tried some big ruckus drums, and then it was like, right? No,
I don't remember that, but maybe.
Yeah, and I feel like we got into the chorus, and when we got on the big sort of crazy drums, it was like this light bulb went off for us both of like, not only this song is starting to feel right, but it also was like, this is really fun and interesting.
Yeah.
And those two things are what we have to have that feeling on this record.
Yes.
And so so Bad Ideas to me was the song that like got the whole album onto the right path.
Absolutely. It gave it a target.
So, yeah.
I remember like in my memory of that song came together in like 2 hours, which,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But I think actually it kind of did. Because it was like, and it was almost like, I remember too that almost every idea we had was right. Sometimes as you just heard with Wishful Drinking, sometimes we make entire songs and it's like, this feels wrong. But it was like, I remember that mellotron and I was like, okay, this is what I know. I know I want mellotron and I know I want teeny drums, like, and you're like Casio drums. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And you're like, that's what it means. Throw those on. And then you were like, what if there's like a like hokey, like choir sample, like the and I was like, I love hokey choir samples. Yes. Yeah. And I was like, what if there was
You're actually right.
Yeah. And I was like, what if there's like a doo doo deep boop bop deep boop? And I'm like, it's like a round robot sound.
Yeah.
I worked with a new producer, I think since I've seen you last, and he was like, you literally describe sounds like no one else I've ever worked with. Because I'm like, he'll like do something and I'm like, that's close, but like I want it to feel more like the robot is like hopeful and also lost in space. This robot feels like he's like angry and anchored in a room. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I don't know. This is just the way I think of sounds. And then what like was the cincher on Bad Ideas was when you said, what if there's a marching drum snare on the song, which everyone needs to know. Yeah. I'm trying to constantly wedge a marching drum snare into every song I've ever made, and it never sounds good. And then finally there was a song that it sounded
That's right.
perfect on. We stand. I got lost on the question was. Let me check. Sorry.
That's fine. I'm seeing some questions come through.
Please, someone do you see any that you'd love to answer? Throw them out there.
Well, just like some easy ones. Someone asked about something if, apparently I'm lagging. Sorry, everybody. That's just life right now. Someone asked if we recorded everything in a DAW. Yes. I use Logic and Pro Tools. So that's a technical answer there. For those of you who don't know, DAW means digital audio workstation. It is what almost all modern music is made in various digital audio workstations. And so, yes.
Ooh. BTTF Bacon asks, what is your process in breaking down Tessa song's acoustic bass to a produced version? I'd love to hear your answer. You go.
That's a great question because it's different every time.
Woo! But I feel like it almost always starts with a like scratch vocal and some version of the carrying the chords and drums. I feel like drums are always where we start.
Yeah. Part of that is because I'm a drummer originally, and so I sort of conceptualize music, from the rhythm first. Also, I'm a huge fan of hip hop. I was in hip hop, band forever. And so, hip hop music influences everything I do, whether I'm trying to or not. So yeah. And then of course I like to get your scratch on as early as we can because that sort of informs, scratch vocal, everybody, means, a recorded vocal just to get the ideas down. And so sometimes there's lyrics involved. Sometimes it's just nonsense humming or gibberish. And so oftentimes when you're starting to make a song, you lay down a scratch vocal just to have something to reference as, okay, this is where the lyrics are going to be. This is how the melody is. So we have to shape the song around that. So, yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. Someone asked, has Seth ever sung on any of my songs?
I did some oohs. I've done a lot of oohs and ahs.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever done lyrics on your stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Where I think you can most hear your singing voice is on the record that shall not be named. Like You Used To. There's two voices. Yeah. And you can hear Seth's voice like super clear. But then besides that, almost every gang vocal there's ever been on my record is just me and Seth doing it 6 times.
That's true. Until the choir on games, every male vocal is me.
Is there any men on the choir in games? I don't think there is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
There is?
Yeah.
I hate
he was a tenor.
Present for any of it. I'm like, I want to be a part of all
yeah.
of it. It's the only recorded thing that I haven't been there for. Yeah, that's not true. Sometimes I'm not there when you track drums, but I'm always mad about it. So there you go.
Yeah.
On the record, this is a me question. How many of the songs have like actual drums that are you played and are tracked versus drum samples?
Sure. On Bad Ideas, we did the song Bad Ideas. The song I Like the Idea of You has live drums. And the song Games so those 3 songs have complete live drum sets of me actually, playing a drum set. A lot of the other tunes have some live drums. It's not a full kit. It's just me hitting a snare drum or, shakers and percussion and, hitting stuff in the room. And so, yeah.
That's my favorite thing. I love to fit into any songs, any randomness, or even sounds from the studio. Audrey's asking, did Seth say the 1, 2, 3 in board? He did. That's him. Anytime I can get Seth's like just talking on a song, I'm like, get it in there. There was a version of Wishful Drinking where Seth's voice was like, oh, hey there.
Oh, hey, man.
Oh, hey, man.
Oh, hey, man.
Honestly, I
just
regret
like
pulling it from the record.
Yeah.
I do. I wish I'd had it on. From now on, I'm not allowed to make any 11th hour changes because I always regret the 11th hour change.
Oh.
I don't know. Is that true?
I will remember that, Tessa. It's almost always true, and not just with you.
Yeah.
That's with most people. It's because oftentimes 11th hour changes are they're either because of overthinking, which never makes good art, or it's because of some insecurity that the artist is feeling. And again, I my buddy Aaron Tashin, who I've played a long time with, he used to talk a lot about, he would know when something was maybe something that's worth pursuing if he got sort of uncomfortable about it as an artist, because that means it was real. And so, when artists are expressing something real, it's going to mean something to other people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like something I've heard you say is that like Seth also mixes my music, but then also like mixes many other things, that when a production choice makes him feel insecure, he always turns it up because it's the thing people end up loving, which
yeah, it's true.
Is that still true? I love the idea of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's an interesting tension sometimes. So I've seen a lot of questions scrolling through about if I produced other folks. And yes, I do. I do that a lot. Tessa's my favorite.
Thank you. Obviously. I'd love to hear it.
But I do a lot of, I mix professionally for it. So I do a lot more mixing for other people than I do producing for other people. So I keep my producing pretty sort of, sort of choosy about that. But my mixing, I mix a lot of stuff. And so in mixing, so for those of you who don't know, mixing is just at the end of song production, everything has to come together, and all of the levels have to be balanced to make sure that the vocal can be heard, that the song is exciting and big, and works on the radio or Spotify or wherever it's going to go. So there's a process called mixing, and so I do that quite a bit. And the thing with mixing is that oftentimes a completely balanced mix is a boring mix. And so
Interesting.
And so it's sometimes fun to have stuff that's a little bit, like, man, why is that bass so loud in that verse? Or, man, that's such a loud vocal. It's because that can really draw attention to different parts of a song. So
Yeah.
sorry, I'm getting boring again.
No.
Let's move on.
It's interesting. I mean, there's so much to music, and it's so much fun. I don't know. Again, it's so wonderful how much there is, how many things there's to learn. Question from Matthew Morales. Any tips for someone just starting to record and produce their music? Suggestions for must-have equipment?
General suggestions is listen to everything as much as you can. I think that I still like new Friday mornings are my favorite.
New Music Friday.
New Music Friday. Yeah, just to hear what stuff's. I listen to all kinds of music all the time, every day, because that helps keep your ideas flowing and gives you new ideas. And so if even if you're I just want to be a pop artist, listen to some classical music, listen to some hip hop, listen to some rock stuff, because that's going to start to sort of influence you, and you might find a path that's like, oh, I really love classical music, but I want to do pop music. That's going to create something new inside of you. And so that's great. Specific gear, man, that's a huge question. If you're just starting out, I would say if you have some sort of a computer, so like a laptop,
yes,
or something like that, and get something like GarageBand is free. That's a great place if you're just starting out and you just like, man, I don't know what to do. But sometimes apples are more. I'm trying to think of like the base level, like how can someone get going if they're like in high school and don't have any money. Find a used laptop, find some sort of a free recording software. So it can be GarageBand. Fruity Loops, I think, has a free version. And just start to I've learned a ton on YouTube. When I first started learning how to run Logic, I spent hours and hours and hours on YouTube. Like it's so
I remember one time, sorry, my foot's so asleep. I remember one time you told me a story where another artist was like, hey, can you Melodyne that real quick? If you guys don't know, Melodyne is like, it's a way to tune vocals that is more like precise and sounds more natural than autotune. And you were like, yeah, sure can, having never done it before or even owning the program maybe.
Yeah.
And I love that, just decision that you can find and figure anything out, which is mostly true.
Yeah.
Also, the whole chat wants you to stop apologizing for being boring because you're very interesting. Their words, not
mine. And I was going to apologize for my huge hand. I'm a very animated talker, so.
Me as well. Paulina wants to know, how do you come up with fresh and new ideas? Which is such a good question.
Yeah, and oftentimes for me a go-to is just to go listen to something else. And so if I'm in the middle of a song and I'm hitting my head against the wall about something and I can't find a good path, I'm going to pop on a couple other tunes. Not at all to copy anything, but just because things, other people's ideas give you other ideas and new ideas. That's a big one for me. How else do I find new ideas? Sometimes I will.
I feel like sometimes you're like, what do I think makes the least sense on this song?
I was trying to think how to explain that. Yeah, like I'll go for the opposite of what I would maybe normally do.
Yeah.
In any given situation. And so if I think, okay, here comes a chorus. Choruses are supposed to be big and exciting, right? what if we went the other way and got small and tiny? And so, there's a guy named Brian Eno who is a old, wonderfully amazing producer. He got his start, I think, in the late 70s. He's worked with all kinds of people. U2 was one of his big bands.
Heck yeah.
He has these things. What's it called? Oh my goodness. It's something cards, and it's just he made a bunch of cards that have random phrases on it, like, what if you did the opposite, or make it sound blue, or make it blue, and so and they're not anything specific, but what it does is it short circuits your brain from getting into its patterns that it normally gets into, and shifts your brain into new patterns. And that is always the best way for new ideas to come, is to get your brain shifted into new patterns.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what happened with Wishful Drinking, is I was like, this is like a big song. That was my idea for it. And it kept like not working. And then we're like, what if it was a small song? It was the same thing with Honest. We had like a big raucous version of Honest. And it was like, it's just not that cool. What if it was small? I would love to hear a few games. Go ahead.
The Brian Eno thing is called oblique strategies.
Ooh.
That's what he calls it. Oblique strategies. It's great.
Oblique anything makes me think of Kathy Ireland.
Okay. So anyway, back to games. Sorry.
I would love to play for them a couple iterations of games, because games, I think, more than any other song, went through 1,000 different versions of it. Yeah. I'd love to hear some of the first voice memo that I sent you. And I don't know if you found it, but there was a version of games we did early on that was piano and tiny drums. It's funny that games took the opposite path of Honest and Wishful Drinking.
Yeah. I remember that version of it, but I couldn't find it. So it was almost a piano ballad.
Yeah.
With some drums on it. But I couldn't find it in time to get this going. But
that's okay. Betrayal, though.
Yes. I am opening up my Pro Tools session. So
no rush.
Pro Tools is one of those digital audio workstations that I had mentioned earlier. It's one that a lot of people use to make albums.
Heck yeah.
All right, let's see if you can hear this.
I can. Can you turn it up a little bit?
Yes.
Because this one's quieter than the other stuff will be. So this is what I sent Seth when I was like, here's a song games I want to make.
And you keep playing games with me, games with your lover. It's a shame, baby.
Whole different chorus.
There's no other. I'm insane for you, sane for your trouble. And you keep playing games with me.
So slow.
Games with your lover, making games with you, games with your other. I'm not sane for you, sane for your trouble. If I knew it all along, was I wrong to take you at your word? But then you long to love me, love.
Wow,
me,
different
love
lyrics in this part too.
me, love
Mm-hmm.
Oof, those are kind of sad.
Yeah, this was a very sad song when you first brought it in.
Yeah.
Extremely
I
sad.
felt very sad. Okay, people. Yep. I mean, yeah, that's true. Thank you for playing that for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's what games was when we first brought it to Seth, and the first version that we did of it was just piano and kind of tiny clickety clackety drums that you hear in Honest type of stuff. Not the kitchen sounds, but just small drums. Dude, I love Honest so much. It's a masterpiece. Mm-hmm. Anyway, do you have another version of games we can hear?
I've got the actual version. Let me see if we can find a different version.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I would love to hear. Oh, you also wanted to play us Crush. Seth said that he found the version of Crush that had the old chorus on it. I'm so stoked for that because I barely remember that. What I remember about the old version of Crush is that like in the chorus it was like, but I could be a crush like something, 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 something. Oh, what a rush. You can call me baby if you let me be your crush.
Yeah.
Which is so fucking catchy. And then I like hijacked that thing and put it in games. Is this the version with like the old chorus?
This was the first version that I
I
sent
don't
to you.
want a
So,
piece of that.
pause a second. One thing that's fun about Tessa is that she doesn't want to take a song out of the studio until she feels like she's really ready to hear it out in the real world. And
It's
so
if it makes me excited. Like if I'm not excited about it, I'm like, nah, I don't need to take it with me.
Yeah, exactly. Because any of us who make music for a living, who make music at all, one of the best things is to take your song into your car and listen to it in your car, because that's how so many of us, especially in America, we experience a lot of our lives in our cars. And so we experience a lot of music in our cars. And so you know how music is supposed to feel when you're on the road driving.
Yeah.
And so a lot of artists and musicians and bands love to do what's called the car test. And that's just, pop in the song in your car. How's it make you feel? So anyway, so this was the first version that I sent home with you.
Yes. So must have been a version I was stoked on.
No,
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
funny. I
peace
don't
in
have
that.
any of these other versions of these songs because I was like,
I
nah,
could
it's
tell
not right.
myself
Yeah.
1,000 times,
This is a
Lower
little bit
key.
slower.
but you
Yeah,
can make a
and lower
toy
key.
of me, and I'll agree that maybe I just couldn't see.
I think it was pretty complete though lyrically.
There ain't nothing wrong with
I think it's got a whole
us at
different
all.
chorus on it.
The chorus is different melody.
But you keep on playing games with me, games with me, loving making games.
Yeah, it was
with you.
like a slow jam.
Games with
Yeah.
you, other, it's a shame,
Wow.
baby.
Different
Shame
vibe.
that you trouble.
Games had the longest life.
Yeah,
I
you
found
keep
that
on
first
playing
version
games
May
with me,
16th,
games with me,
2017.
loving making games with
Yep.
you.
And this is from
Games with you, other, it's a
November
shame, baby.
7th of 17.
Shame
And
that
we're
you
mixing a
trouble.
new version right now. It just keeps
Yep.
going. We're not allowed to talk about that.
I know I should
Can
trust
we
my
hear
gut.
the version of Crush you found?
Yes.
Yes.
Stand by. Stand by.
Stand by. I'm looking at the questions in the chat, see if we got any new questions coming in. People are kind of mad about slow chat, but it just makes it possible for me to read what's coming in. Sorry, guys. We appreciate you standing with us. Whoops, sorry. Touching the mic. Oh, I did see a question. I'm kind of like combining a bunch of questions I saw. You don't have to answer this at this moment if your bandwidth is on the other thing. But how do you...
Can't focus on what needs to get done.
I got so excited.
I'm on notice, hoping that you don't
Does the verse of Crush have... Is that the scratch
think
track?
I'm tepid, but I'm missing
Sounds like the same
lost.
vocal.
'Cause I'm a stalker,
Fuck
I
yeah,
seen all
love
of
it.
your posts, and I'm just trying to play it cool now.
Your scratch track may have made it to the record.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think this is
On
the
this
same
tune.
vocal
I'm
take.
not trying to be with you. Now you.
So you can hear that we already had the piano chop. So that piano was something that we wanted to have it feel like a chopped up sample. So I played each chord and just held it out and recorded that, and then I chopped up those chords and made the piano chops.
Yes.
So here's the new chord or the old chorus.
'Cause I'm just trying to be a crush, like. Tryna be a rush, like.
Whoa.
It's different, but it was good.
Yeah.
Rush. You can call me baby if you let me be a crush, like.
Yeah. I don't think this version would have popped off the way
No,
that
I agree. No.
the version did. But yeah, I mean, good effort. A for effort, Tessa. If you let me be your crush. I love that last line. I ended up using that melody in the new version of Games.
That's right.
Taking you, tear me down. Boy, you really ought to knock it off right now. I mean, they're different. I could still write a song that has that other melody and it'd be fine. But it was the same idea. I was like, oh, I'm just going to use that other melody. Yeah, it's fun, right? Isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And I'm seeing a lot of comments now. One person said, "Oh, this hit's different," and part of that is because when I was talking about the mixing thing, so a song that's not mixed will oftentimes not feel near as big and won't hit at all in the same way as a song that has been mixed. And so, that's one example of, oh, why does that sound so different? Obviously, a lot of things are different, but it's also not mixed. And so it doesn't feel as big and,
punchy.
Here's the song. Right. Yeah.
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 I saw.
So you said that you had a question for me.
Yes, it's kind of an amalgamation of a few questions I saw. But how do you know when a song is?
Great.
It's kind of a three-parter. How do you know when a song is done? How do you know when a song is a keeper? And how do you know when a song doesn't make the cut?
To me, the easiest one on that for doesn't make a cut is when you just when I feel like I'm continually banging my head against the wall and it's never getting me really excited. That's when I, it's like sometimes you can tug on stuff and tug and tug and tug, and then it finds its thing. Most of the time, if you have to tug multiple weeks in a row on something, it's probably not right. How do I know when a song is a keeper? Sometimes it's just that feeling of like, oh my gosh, everybody in the room is excited about this, so we're just going to keep working on it. And what was the middle one?
How do you know when a song is done?
When it's done. There's an old joke probably in lots of industries, but certainly in the music mixing and production world, a song is never done. You just run out of time or money. Because you can like endlessly tweak on stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So, but I mean,
in all of me, I resist that, which I love. I love that you have like such strong boundaries about like, look, it's like we've run out of time, at some point. But like, I will push up against that until the 11th hour. And I was giving notes on the 11th hour for a music video. And specifically, we're working on the music video of Bored. And in the opening, it was like Jade sent the cut. Everything looks so good. It's like the 11th version of it. Color is amazing. And Sydney, my day-to-day manager, was like, it's done? It's done, right? And I was like, I just feel like the fade out on the white noise computer sound could happen like 0.5 seconds sooner. And I know that seems like a small thing, but it's really important to me. And she's like, is it a hill to die on? And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yes.
Freaking artists and fade outs are the worst thing that anybody ever has to deal with. Artists get so weird about their fade outs on anything. Oh my gosh. But you just mentioned a phrase that you hear me say all the time.
Yeah.
Is this the hill? Like, I feel it's this way, but that's not a hill I'm going to die on,
Yes.
So
I was honestly like, I think Sydney's watching. I was thrilled to hear Sydney say, is this a hill to die on? Because I know that she's saying that because I've said that so many times, because you've said that so many times. And that's a fun, like, woohoo, that language is contagious.
Yeah, that's right.
And yeah,
I also like to mix metaphors. My favorite one lately has been, that's not a hill I can hang my hat on.
I like that.
That's a dad joke. Okay. To me, a song is done when either you're just out of time, or to give an actual answer, when I start to, so you can keep adding things to songs, you can keep adding things to a mix, or keep adding new parts to a production. And there's going to come a point where everything that you add doesn't actually increase any joy or sadness or, whatever the feeling is in the song. If things stop adding to the feeling, then that's when it's done.
Wow.
So
interesting. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, how do I know when a song's done? And this is maybe a cop out, but I just feel like You do. You're just
Yeah.
like, this song is done. What else could there possibly be? And and sometimes it's like we'll try and add one more thing. Like with Crush, I remember the last thing we tried to add to it was like in the last chorus, there's a hey, which did make it to the record, but the full phrase was ooh, hey.
Yep.
And like the ooh just like didn't work. And that was the last thing
Yep.
we tried to add as like something extra. No, after that, I was like, we're like, it's done. And I was like, okay, but why? It just feels like they could use something more. And I think you actually added a
I did.
top of that last course.
I was playing
And
some
it
brushes
made
on a piece of
difference.
paper.
It was great.
Yeah.
This is a great question. Thomas asks, how do you come up with the ideas to use less typical sounds or even making common sounds unique, like the cash register or the dog bark or the silverware sounds? And for those who don't know, the silverware sounds, I think, are the drum sounds in Honest, the dog bark. There's a dog bark at the end of Bad Ideas. The cash register, I think, is probably he's hearing the phone ring, I guess. Is there a cash register in Crush? I don't...
He's thinking about the end of Crush. It's
Ka-ching?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess that's the cash register.
Yeah. I'm gonna say most of those ideas were yours because you're like Tessa's very, very creative, and so she was making that joke earlier about how she describes sound, and like what's interesting about my career so far is that Tessa's this way, and that other guy John Zappin, who I mentioned, who I've worked a lot with, he was extremely non-technical in his descriptions of sound, and so yes, and so there was one time I was doing a mix for John, and he literally said, right now the mix feels like this, and I want it to feel like this. And that was his direction for me. And so it's like, what? So anyway, my point being that part of a producer's job, so going back to the producer question, is to translate, is to help an artist translate her vision from, I'm hearing something in my head. How can you help me make it happen?
Yeah.
So all that being said, Tessa's very, very creative, and she likes to have interesting sounds in her music, which for a producer is a whole lot of fun because you get to explore. And so I think the dog was literally you saying, what if we put a dog at the end of this?
Yes.
And
you were like,
cash register.
You're like, a real dog? Do we have to, like, are we going to record Abby, or are we going to like find like Free Sounds dog? I'm like, a Free Sounds dog is fine.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's a ongoing joke in me and you's session, Tessa, is there's a website called freesound.org, and they have it's just a collection of various samples and people taking, Zoom recordings of, train stations and stuff. And they have different licenses, so I call that our old friend. So why don't we take a visit to our old friend if we need a sound?
Free Sounds. Yes.
Our old friend Free. So the cash register, I don't remember why that came up. Okay.
I was like, okay. And then at the end of this chorus, I wanted to go, bring ching. Originally, I wanted the sound of a soda opening, because I do remember that, like a Crush, like a can of Crush soda was the joke
Orange,
I was making.
Yep.
And you put it on, and we listened to it back, and I was like, oh my god, how when I hear that in my head and my soul do I know it's a beer? And it has a completely different feeling. I'm like, suddenly we're in a country song, cracking open a cold one. I'm like, that does not work. I regret. I hate it. And you were like, I know exactly what to put there. And you're like, bibbidi bop bop bop. And found that little moment of me saying sorry, which was me messing up a take from earlier, and then like apologizing and laughing about it. And I was like,
yeah,
perfect,
Yeah. One thing, speaking of that, I would love to hear all of the world's tales on either side of vocal takes, because there's going to be all kinds of nonsense. There's going to be all kinds of just like mouth like a sailor sort of swearing after someone, messes up a vocal take.
Yeah.
There's so much interesting stuff on either side of like a vocal take. And I would love to hear the world's best, I'd love to have a supercut of the world's best tales.
Yes. I love just like, there's something really precious to me about getting to insert into the songs like real moments from the studio, because it feels like letting people in on a secret, even if you don't really know what the sorry, you know, there's something meta about it that really speaks to me, and I love it when you hear that in other people's music too. I'm just like, yes.
Okay. Where's some other questions?
Looking through some questions. Sorry.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think I saw some on Twitter earlier. Let me check that real quick. Feel free to check out the chat. Oops. Open that.
Yeah, I'm looking through it here. Tessa, has my love of hip hop rubbed off on you at all?
I don't think so necessarily, but your like your your style of production is definitely influenced by hip hop, and that has become a part of like my voice too in the things that I like in production. So in that way, very much yes. Do I myself listen to a lot of hip hop? Not really.
Sure. Right. Yeah. I just saw a great question from or a great statement from M. Hilmy Fauzi. Says, so Seth Earnest is like a producer and a therapist and a medium.
Oh my God. First of all, all producers are therapists.
Yeah. So there's a major psychological role to the job of a producer. So back to the original question, what is a producer? Part of producing is, and someone even said this way earlier. I'm sorry that I don't know your name. But basically helping, sort of talking artists off of ledges, and that can be in a lot of ways. And like any artist, like artists are wonderful because they have all of these wonderful things to say. But part of the reason that they are able to be so expressive is because they also have some issues. Like, you know, everybody on the planet has issues, right? And so artists are the ones of us on the planet who express those issues in ways that the rest of us can relate to and say, yes, that is how I'm feeling. I am that mad at my boyfriend right now, you know, whatever it is. But part of those issues sometimes can backfire on artists and come out in insecurities or make them scared to try new ideas. Especially the more success that an artist has, the more scary new ideas are. Because well, everybody knows me as this thing, so I have to keep doing that thing. So a producer's job can be to help keep an artist on task and talk them off of ledges where they want to be like, I just want to quit, or I should quit writing songs, or, you know, this album is dumb, you know, I'm not going to work on it anymore, you know. And, you know, part of our jobs as producers is to, you know, dig in a little bit to the psychology of it, not in a manipulative way. Although some producers do that, and that's super awful. I mean,
you can manipulate someone in a healthy way, I think, you know,
That's true. Well, that's just called encouragement, right? Yeah.
I guess.
But yeah, so yeah, that's funny. I've often joked that like my job as a producer is 10% music, 90% psychological.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, I don't know, but I only know with me, it's like, yes. And that's true. Like, even with the other, like, people I've met up with now, because I've been trying, like, working, like, just trying out some new experiences. And, like, with the two co-writers, or 4 co-writers, I guess, 2 different groups, they're very much just like, oh, yeah, most of co-writing is just talking about stuff. Yeah. It's, like, literally just hanging out. And if you write a song, then great. But if you don't, that's fine too. And I've heard you say that about like producing a record. It's like the best like way to produce a record is just to hang out, and hopefully a record gets made.
I'm a little bit probably too far on that spectrum. But
I don't know. I feel like
I yeah.
yeah. I like there's a studio in the building that my management is at, and the guy that mostly works in it is hip hop. And there's like always people like just hanging out in sessions, which to me is like so confusing because like if I'm in a session, I'm like everyone out, no one come through. Like I don't want any like unknowns, just like very small circle. But like I guess that's like definitely a more thing in the hip hop world is that like yeah, anyone come through, hang out, like interact with the vibe it down.
Mm-hmm.
I have a great question.
Yeah.
Sorry, did you have a thought on that?
Nope.
Neve wants to know, how do you know you found the right... This is more of a esoteric question, but it's a good one. How do you know when you found the right people? Producer / label / production team.
After the initial sort of awkwardness, because any sort of new, two new people in the room together is going to be awkward just because that's just being humans.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty quickly know if you're going to gel or not. Mm. So it's for me it's just pretty much apparent pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
I would say trust your gut, and like if you're not sure what your gut is, I would say like trust your body. Like your body will have a reaction to people like you feel like you can trust and you vibe with. It's just a sense of feeling like safe around people, I guess,
Yeah.
And then also like discuss like what your financial business is before you start.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Don't be shy about it,
Both. Right. Yeah. Be upfront about it. Cause business is business and you have to, and all of us have to take care of business. But yeah, try to keep those things separate. Yep.
Yes. I think I
found the thing I was talking about. Troy Monger said Seth Earnest is the voice of reason, and he probably said that as a joke, but that is part of a producer's job as well, is to be sort of a reality check for the artists. So, yeah.
Not no. All right, I've got one more.
Yeah.
Grayson asks.
We can talk all night. I'm loving this.
We stand talking. Oh my gosh. I love this. Grayson asks, how should you... This is such a good question because this is a question I get all the time that I like don't have an answer to, because unlike most people, first person I worked with, clicked, baby. This person asks, how do you go about finding a producer?
Yeah, that's hard. That's very difficult. We lucked out, Tessa,
Mm-hmm.
We just had a good, it was pretty right on off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
I think generally though, just, producers are also looking for artists. And so,
Yes.
So it tends to be some sort of a, symbiotic, win-win sort of thing. And so, my point being that most artists and most producers want to work with each other. And so it's just a matter of, finding folks in your town. If you're in a small town, find the other 2 or 3 folks in your town who also want to make music and, see how that goes. If you're in a big city, Nashville, New York, LA, London, it can be difficult to find professional people in the industries because they're probably successful and therefore not that they don't want to work with you, but they have schedules and they have budgets and it's a whole different ball game. But I think just continually reaching out to people, have your demos ready. By demo, that can even mean like I sang into my iPhone on my acoustic guitar, here's my songs.
Yeah.
And be able to send that to people, because a great song is a great song. And, anybody who's, at all successful in the music business is able to
hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
For sure. I would say like, if you're like first starting out, like just like Yes, I loved what you said about the idea of like producers are also looking for artists and great songs. So like enter into any conversation you're going to have with like the like knowing in your soul that you have something to offer, you know? And like maybe they don't want what you have to offer for like many reasons, but like that's fine. Like it doesn't need to feel charged in any way. You know, it can be like, here's what I have to offer. You know, are you stoked on it? Because of course you want to work with someone who's stoked on it. If they're not stoked on it, it's not a fit. And I would probably like,
Yep.
like one way to find producers is now on Spotify, you can go to, when you hear a song, you can get more info and see producers who worked on it. I would look at smaller artists because, like, you know, you're probably not going to work with someone who's like producing top 40 songs, but I would look at smaller artists whose songs you like, see who's on production on them, follow them on Instagram, you know, see if you get that follow back, hit them up, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
I think it's a vibe.
Yeah. Speaking of vibe, I just saw a question from LOD. Seth, what Tessa song makes you full on vibe? I'm going to go with the deep cut called Feelin'.
Yes!
I love that song. I think I love that song more than anybody else on earth loves that song.
What do you love about
that's
it?
That's my
It was thanks to your encouragement, that song is out and exists and we saw it through. So thank you for that. I agree now.
It was that song has so much space to it, and I really like a lot of space in music. I think it's great. It has that just really interesting sounds in it, like the kick is hitting hard. There's a tiny but hard hitting snare drum. There's that cool chord sound in the verses.
Wow.
And then, you know, Tessa just, I like your melody has a lot of like sort of this feeling to it. So, yeah.
Someone asked, sorry, speaking of this feeling, my like, I can't remember what we're talking about. Oh, the idea of this sounds like this. I want to sound like this. I feel like a conversation Seth and I have all the time, which now I'm better at. Now I know what drum things will make me feel what, but early on I didn't know. And so instead of being like, can you try making the drum do this beat, which was often like not helpful, I would just be like, okay, right now this song's making me do this. And I want to be doing this.
Yep. Yeah.
And sometimes that's all it takes. And Seth's like, got it.
Well,
I know what this needs.
But it's because music affects our bodies, and that's a huge part of listening that I think a lot of, especially engineers, you know, we get too lost in the technical side of it all. But like music is meant to move us both emotionally, and it's meant to move, like make us, you know, move our bodies and groove. And so how a song is making your body want to move or not want to move is a huge part of music. So, yeah.
Yes. Heck yes. I'm trying to think, like, is there any other things I can put you on the spot with?
Please, go for it.
Here. I'm always trying to, I'm like, which song's your favorite? That's what I'm always trying to get Seth to tell me. And he's like, I don't have favorites.
I don't.
Okay.
I love them all. Someone asked, Elias J says, what do you think about artists self-producing without having previous experience? I think that's a great question. And that is it can be good and bad. I think that I had a professor in college who said, he was talking in the context of jazz music, but he was like, he said, the most original artists are the people who don't know anything yet, or the people who know everything. And so when you're first starting out, you have a unique perspective on everything because everything's new to you. And so everything's fresh and you don't know what you're supposed to do yet. And so that can create some really, really good ideas in music. So I would encourage self-producing as far as exploring how you can make music. As you progress through your career, I think it's more important to get a producer at some point, because it's a very rare artist who can successfully and continually self-produce and make their best work. Because of the ledge I was talking about. Artists often need to be talked off of these various ledges. And so that's what a producer can help do. So I do think that some artists are great at self-producing and they should keep doing it. I think most artists probably need some sort of outside voice. Maybe it's not a producer. Maybe it's their manager. Maybe it's their, so.
I saw someone ask, what's it like working with a indie artist versus an artist on a label?
I haven't done a lot of label stuff. So in my limited experience with label stuff, it's cool because the opportunity is bigger. There's probably more money involved. And there's more opportunity to get it out to the world in bigger ways. It's also more challenging though, because there's a lot more cooks in the kitchen. And so depending on what sort of person that you are and how you like to create, sometimes more cooks in the kitchen and more voices to have to please can feel like, a huge challenge. And so, I tend to like indie artists more just because it really feels like there's a lot of freedom to really make music that matters. And that's all that matters to me. I want, music to move people. So,
yeah. And it's so pure because you're not trying to shoot for anything. You're just trying to make something that someone loves, one person loves, So if no one else likes it, at least the two people in the room loved it,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. I would love.
That's great.
This is just a piece of trivia that came up in the Patreon stream, which no one's asking for now, but I feel like sharing. In Wishful Drinking, dude, I love that song. The production in that song is so freaking cool. I love that there's the loudest shaker in the world in the second verse. The loudest shaker in the world, but you don't even question it. It's perfect. And then in the bridge, I love that sonar sound, and then afterwards there's all those voices that come in, and someone asked me what are those? Are those samples? And what those actually are voice messages that I sent to they're two different ones. They're a set of 3 that I sent to a guy that whatever, it doesn't matter, but I'm like, I was drunk when I sent them, and I'm like, I just like you so much, and it is super embarrassing, and I was like, we should put this in the song. And then the other one is me sending a voice memo to Dodie defending solo partying, which is when you drink alone, which there's a time and a place for. If you're doing it all the time, not great. But yeah, I love to just fit weird things into the songs. Why not? Yep. I would love to hear some Wishful Drinking. And I love that there's a guitar there's a bing ding acoustic guitar in one spot in the entire song. But it's perfect. Yeah,
it's just once. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I remember you specifically talking about those voice memos because I was starting to stack them in the session, and you were like, we have to make sure that nobody can ever actually hear what these are saying.
Yes. Yeah, I felt that way. I would actually be okay with hearing them now because I think I had a lot of shame around it then. Now I'm just yeah, whatever, it's fine. I'm sure it's embarrassing and I'm comfortable with that.
Is that on?
It is. It's really quiet.
Great. Let me turn it up.
The song is so cool. I'm so glad we went this direction and not the other one.
Yes.
Hey, that's Seth.
Yeah. I should have pulled up the other version that had the, oh, hey, man.
Anyone who saw me live on the US Headline Tour has heard that version.
So yes, here's the loudest shaker in the world. And yeah, this is one of those examples of a balanced mix is a boring mix.
Yeah.
That shaker's too loud, but it makes it awesome.
Yeah.
I can pretend that I don't wanna and I'm afraid. Do you think
Yeah,
that
I miss
they
having
know
the
here.
voice there.
this?
I can play it.
Out of bounds.
Yes!
Let me find it. Is this it? Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yes!
So it was that.
Yep.
Like I can pretend that I don't wanna and I'm afraid.
Oh, hey, man.
Yeah.
Do you
Amazing.
Do you think that they know?
But that got nixed eventually. I think that was actually my call because I kept trying to get that out of there.
No,
And you're like, no, we have to leave it in.
You were trying to get it out of there forever, and I was like, no, it's awesome. I'm not taking it out. And I think I do stand by this. In the 11th hour, I decided I did want to take it out because I felt that this was a song that was a very serious subject, and I was trying to stick a laugh in there because I was uncomfortable with it.
Yes, and that's why I kept pushing to get rid of it, is because I felt like it was you wanting to it was you wanting to hide from something that I didn't want you to hide from. Yeah.
Yes. Can we hear one of those voice memos? Now I have to hear one.
Sure.
I submit to whatever embarrassing thing I'm going to say.
Okay. I was just gonna say, should we check offline if? Oh, where were those? At the
They're they're at the end of
after
the
the
bridge.
bridge or before the bridge?
After the bridge.
Sorry if you're hearing double. I have to hear this for a second. Sorry, I can't find them. Hang on.
That's them there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you mean in the
All right.
thing, obviously.
Here they are. So I can just play any of these. You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, let me just say, it's far easier to accidentally drink too much alone than at a party. Because when you're at a party, you're interacting with people.
You have to turn it up a little bit.
Interacting with people, so you're thinking, I don't want to be more drunk, and you're up.
That's the one I sent to Dodie.
Interacting with people, so you're thinking, I don't want to be more drunk, and you're up. But when you're alone, you're just watching TV sitting down, so then you don't realize, like, whoops, I have had too much.
Oh, interesting. I'm talking about accidentally drinking too much alone. Is there one of the ones that I sent to Drew?
My friend Zoya says that.
Oh my god. I'm talking about Zoya.
About you?
Should I stop that?
No. I'm
Here,
saying
okay.
Zoya says I should text you. Zoya is Mike Calzone's
My
wife.
friend Zoya says that I need to let you know that I've been thinking about you.
Oh my
Thank
gosh.
you for texting me. I have a huge crush on you. You already know that. Whatever.
Oh crap!
Yes.
That's funny.
That is funny. So that's what's buried deep in there. If y'all wanted to know I remember I was at VidCon and she was like, we were getting drunk together and she was like, you should text him. And I was like, I will. And she's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And then I sent like 3 of those in a row, and she came back and she was like, oh no. She's like, too much.
Oh man.
I know. It was a tough time in my life. It's fine. We're fine with it. We grow, we learn.
Well, and yeah.
This is a good question. Morgan wants to know, has there ever been a song that one of you disagreed on, like one of you was like, no, this is bad, and the other was like, no, I love this? I can think of 2.
I can think of one that nobody's ever heard. It was a version that I did of you had brought in a song and then I had worked on it and I loved it and you weren't even sort of feeling it. I can't remember what song it was now.
I know what song you're talking about. It was
Yeah.
like, I remember ultimately the issue with it was that the bridge and the chorus felt too similar, so the chorus didn't feel like it popped off.
Mm-hmm.
But it was something like, I hate that I miss you so damn much. I
Yes.
could call
Yeah.
and say your name, but we both
Yeah.
know it's not the same, and
Yeah.
fuck. I had an effort in that one. But I was, for the record, it was in comma, like, oh, fuck, dude. I hate that I miss you so damn much. What was
Yeah.
that called? So damn much? You can play it for him.
I think it was just the F word. I think that was the title.
Yeah, our working titles are not good. Yeah, this is cool. It's still cool. It just doesn't feel like me,
Which is what it was. Yeah. Well, check this out, everybody. This is dope. Oh, there's no lyrics in it.
There's probably no scratch on it.
Yeah. That's dope, though, everybody.
It is dope. I don't disagree. I think part of it, too, is not even... I wonder about this. Is it that it doesn't sound like me?
Right.
Or
This
is
sounds
it
more
that-
like me.
Or is it just that I wasn't in the room when you made it? Because I feel like... I really feel like I need to be present for everything. Otherwise, I don't feel attached to it.
Yeah.
But I was going to say the two songs we disagree on are Tennessee and Words Ain't Enough.
Oh. And what's the other one?
Words Ain't Enough.
Okay. That's the opposite, though. No,
Yes.
it's not. No. Those are both clear examples of where Tessa, everybody, is absolutely wrong about her own music. So everybody get out your notebooks and mark it down that Tessa's wrong about Tennessee and Words Ain't Enough. There's something about those tunes that she doesn't like, and I think that she's nuts about that because they're amazing. So
Gabe, my manager, said that Words Ain't Enough is the reason he signed me.
really
Yes.
interesting.
And I was like, why? Why
Yeah.
that one, you know?
Yeah.
I know, people love that song. And I don't not like it, for the record. I love singing it live. It's just that I never want to listen to it. Whereas my other songs, like, I'll vibe on. But when Words Ain't Enough comes up, I'm like, skip, next. Same with Tennessee. Makes me uncomfortable to listen to them. I feel like I want to hide when they're on, both of them.
And that's why I think that they're so special to me, is because there's something in them for you that's really you. And that's what's making you feel uncomfortable. But as listeners, that's what draws us into you as an artist. It's like, oh, that's Tessa. I can, so yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Is there anything else that like we have to share or talk about while we're broadcasting? Or is there any other songs or anything that you guys would like to hear? Let us know. There's about a 20-second delay, so it'll take a moment. Everyone's mad that I talk smack on Tennessee. I know, it's a good song. And again, like I said, I love to sing it, just don't love to listen to it.
Therapist Seth is coming out.
Well, I think one of Seth's, Seth observation about Tennessee was that I am uncomfortable with it because because I self-identify with my songs and Tennessee's beautiful, and I'm uncomfortable being beautiful, whereas I feel comfortable being sassy or cute or edgy or sad. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Dom says, please answer Liv's questions. Liv wants to know if we have an alternative version of Tennessee that we can hear. We do
even if
have
we do,
one, and you can't hear it.
yeah, and I wouldn't even know where it is. That's so old now. I'd have to dig into my archives, which are not even plugged in. So I'd have to. And I've recently moved, so I don't even know where that drive is.
Sorry, guys. Another embarrassing record. It's funny to hear. I wonder if there's. I don't think there's anything else embarrassing besides those voice memos. I just want to like gush on like one of my favorite tracks that we've done together. I just think like honestly that we are geniuses and everything we make is amazing.
I love all of my children equally.
But dude, Honest to me is a freaking masterpiece. It sounds like it is the musical equivalent of having a full-on breakdown to me. That it goes from like the world that it's in a world for 2 minutes, and then it's like in a completely different tempo, or like there is no tempo, that part with the piano, and then it's like in a different world. I love the choice to this was your idea in the end, to instead of doing the different chords at the end, I'm just like, all of this is, and how perfectly those 808s come through. Can we hear the end of Honest? Liv's mad because we don't get to hear Tennessee. Okay. It's somewhere. I'm sure I could put it on Patreon. Will I? Turn it up a little bit. Quite a bit, actually. It's like barely audible.
no,
There we go.
I'm no good tonight. No, I don't feel alright at all. Hey, hey, oh, guess I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. Hey, hey, oh, no.
And I remember at the end, like, working on those 808s, and you're like, what did you asked me what, like, you wanted the 808s to do, and I was like, make them sing. That's what I want. I just want the 808s to sing to me. Like, they are their own voice in that section, and they do. They're perfect. So well done.
Yeah. Someone just asked about that specific. Did anything change on Honest between the leaked demo and the released version? And the answer is yes.
Just the vocal.
Just the vocal take.
Yes.
And not even the whole vocal take.
Yes.
It was just a few parts we recut some vocals on. Yeah.
We recut the vocals on the choruses, the second verse.
And the outro.
The outro, yes.
Yeah.
But not the bridge and the first verse. Yeah, we did do some 11th hour retracking vocals because, like, when we recorded most of the record, we recorded most of it in 2017, and then I did, like, an entire year of touring, and by the end of that year of touring, I was like, my voice is much stronger now, so I would like to retrack some of these songs, and we retracked Games, Bored, and part of Honest, and we, like, tried to retrack Wishful Drinking, but sometimes you just really capture something on Wishful Drinking. The verses are the scratch track. Sometimes you capture something on the scratch track that can just never be beat.
Yep. Someone asked what an 808 is.
Ooh!
This
You'll have
is
to turn up a
808.
little bit more.
So an 808 originally was a drum machine in the 80s that became very popular in early hip hop music. But nowadays 808 generally means a big, huge, long kick drum. And so most modern hip hop, especially trap music has a lot of 808s. Any of that big, like, doom, 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 any of that stuff is 808s. So it's just sort of an umbrella term for really big, long kick drums.
It's a kick that is also a bass.
Yeah. Yep.
Dion.
Yep.
Someone asked if there will be any changes between the leaked version of Good Things Go Bad and the produced version. I mean, there definitely will be, because that leaked version is just me playing it, and we will record it, like, well. And I think I want to write another verse to that song. I'm undecided about that. Seth and I were supposed to be working together this week, I think, or last week. What is time? I can't keep track of time at all anymore.
Yeah, last week. Yeah.
Yep. Sigh. Now look at us. We're gonna try and do a remote session. I'm excited about see how that goes.
Yeah.
Have you worked with other people remotely before? Like, for production?
Some.
Is it okay? What's it like?
It's helpful if you're not in the same city. It is not as good by any means as being in the same room together. So it's the best way to get to continue getting work done when you can't be together.
Yeah.
So
I've got a question. Who are your biggest influences for production?
Man, this is a long conversation. I have to start with a band from the it's actually 89 and early 90s. It was a band called Jellyfish. They were out of the Bay Area in California. Very psychedelic band, but they were sort of like, one could describe them as if the Beatles and Queen and, like, Cheap Trick had a baby.
Ooh, I wonder if I'd like that.
It would be this band. It was also cool because their drummer was their lead singer, and so he actually stood up front and sang and drummed at their live shows. They had amazing vocal. Oh, and they had a lot of Beach Boys influence too. So, Beach Boys, Beatles, So really, really great band. And so at that point, when I got into them, I was, like, super into jazz. And so they were the first band that sort of switched my brain into not jazz. Okay. And then that sort of backdoored me into the Beatles. And then the Beatles opened me up into a huge world of songwriting and the importance of lyrics tied to melody and, all that sort of thing. Producers wise, there's a guy named John Bryan, JONBRION. He's in Los Angeles. I'm a huge fan of him. These days he does a lot of movie scores. But he was the producer on Kanye's second record. So that was one of his biggest,
Is that Graduation?
successes in the.
Or is that the third one?
I think Graduation's his third one.
Yeah.
So he's a big influence on me. I'm trying to think nowadays who I'm into lately. There's so many guys I love. I'm trying to think of guys who have been a major influence. Rick Rubin's big for me. That's a big question.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry.
big question. No, it's okay. Those are great answers. I feel like LOD says, Seth, please be more active on Twitter. You're actually such a cool guy. I feel like for with our records, I think what's great is that every project that we kind of work on, there's a lot of new influences and a lot of check out the song that I heard. Let's try and even on a song by song, I think the whole record is cohesive, but at the same time there is quite a it exists on a spectrum from Words Ain't Enough, which is an acoustic song essentially, to I don't know what's the other end. Is it Wishful Drinking? Is Bad Ideas in the Middle? They don't all sound the same, which is something that I love from other people's music and I love from our music. But if there was one band that comes up more than any other for references and for what about this vibe? Do you know a band I'm gonna say?
I don't.
Fun.
Oh yes. For you, definitely. I thought you were saying for me, and I was I don't know. Yeah.
For me.
Yes.
For us, yeah.
For you, yeah. Fun, and specifically Jack Antonoff, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
By the way, he's huge on my list. He's one of my. I think he's absolutely brilliant, and I think he's a guy who's doing some of the most unique music in the world right now. And it's, so cool. But he's doing it. I don't mean unique as in weird, because there's a lot of weird music too, and I like weird music. By the way, have you guys heard of Radio?
No.
It's an app.
Oh,
it's an
yes,
app,
I have.
okay?
You can tune into radio anywhere in the world.
And from any decade. So,
Yeah.
So the other night, I listened to literally 3 hours straight of because you can pick categories of slow, fast, or weird, and you can mix any of those. And so I listened literally to 3 hours straight of Russian slow, weird music from 1970s. It was amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. What is it about it that it's amazing? Just how much there is, or just that it sounds so cool and different?
It's because it sounds so cool and different. And I'm really going to embarrass myself and show some ignorance here. I'm presuming Soviet Union in the 70s didn't have as good of recording equipment generally as the rest of the West did, say. And so you get these really interesting sounding records.
Yeah.
Because people sounded like they were having to sort of make do, but it creates really, really neat art. And just, they had I can't go into everything. But it's great. But my point being that Jack Antonoff is a guy who feels to me like he brings in a lot of unique influences, but his stuff never gets weird to the point where he's going to turn off a bunch of people.
Yeah.
It's just super interesting. And so, for me, that's the key in music is, and, Tessa hears me say this a lot. If we're scrolling through some new music at 7 times out of 10, my first thing is boring. I feel if stuff doesn't hit me as if stuff doesn't hit me as someone was trying something interesting, then I'm just not interested. And that's me and my taste. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but for me and my taste, that's how I take in music. So Jack Antonoff is great. There's a producer named Nigel Godrich. who produces for Beck and Radiohead. Radiohead is his
You're
main
a big
band. I think
Radiohead
Radiohead.
stan,
I'm a
right?
huge Radiohead. Oh yeah, not to the point of like knowing their birthdays, but I'm like,
almost.
but almost, yeah. um, and so but they're also a band who they make really interesting choices, and they make stuff that's probably someone who only listens to top 40 radio would hear Radiohead and say, "Oh, that's a little weird."
Yeah.
But top 40, I love Max Martin. I think he's a brilliant genius, and
Genius.
I don't think I'm actually really, really careful about using that word genius, because it's like I want that word to mean something.
Yeah.
Max Martin falls into genius level territory for making pop music. I think he's amazing at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. We stand.
Have you listened to the new Selena Gomez album yet?
Rare?
It's awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
awesome.
only listened to the first few, so I'll have to check it out.
And the new Dua Lipa album's awesome too.
Oh my god, everything I've heard from the new Dua Lipa album, freaking, I mean, you know how I feel about Future Nostalgia. I sent that to you the second I heard it, and I've heard it about a zillion times. It's so just like interesting. It's interesting choices, and I love that.
Yep. What's that song I heard? Pretty Please? That bass line. Oh, guys, that's one of my love languages is bass guitar. So I'm a drummer, but I really want to be a bass player. So that song Pretty Please has that like super, super cool bass on it. That's a sweet song.
I'll have to hear it. I feel like I'm looking through my Tessa Loves 2020 playlist. I've been listening to like my taste in music the last few months has skewed a lot more like
I like The Weeknd a lot.
bands, you know? Like a lot less pop, like a 1975, Lovely Band.
I like 1975 a lot. Yeah.
Half Live, The Strokes, we stand. Everyone knows because I keep talking about this record, but the record I got like super into more than any other last year was Pups, Morbid Stuff, which is just like punk. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yeah. I think about having them on. They were supposed to have a show in LA next Thursday.
Oh.
Anyway, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
We stand. Is there any like parting wisdom you would love to give the stands?
No, not that I haven't said already. It's just the general idea of, I think that I genuinely think that every person on earth has something important to say, and it may not be to the world, but it's to somebody. And so I think that it's that it's really important to really take enough time, dig into who you are as a person, understand who am I, what's my voice, and then try to find ways to express that, whether it's making music or painting paintings or being a mom or working in the office or, whatever it's going to be. There's things that all of us have been given and that we are made to give to the earth and to other people. So
that is such a good sign off. I really put you on the spot there, and I'm like, oh my God, I needed to hear this. I love it. And I love that for all the stands listening. That's true, you guys. You're all so special. Seth, you're so special. It's a gift and pleasure to always get to work with you, get to talk to you. Looking forward to our From a Distance session coming up.
Yes. Okay, great. Thank you, Tessa. And thanks, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. Yep. Goodbye. Okay, I got to figure out how to do all these buttons. There's too many. Okay, ending the meeting now. Bye.
Great.
Dude, that's so wonderful. What a dude, am I right? Seth is your favorite guest so far? He is. Yes, he's one of my favorite people ever. My life was changed because my life happened to cross paths with Seth. And like, I can't not believe that it wasn't, in some like a divine intervention, because I do feel like I get to do now what I think I was meant to do, share songs with the world. And I'm not sure I would have been a songwriter and a song singer if I didn't happen to meet Seth when I did, someone who was so like encouraging and gentle and easy to work with. So we big stan Seth Earnest. Yes, he's at Seth Earnest on Twitter and Instagram. What a dude. Check him out. Great. Well, we've gone a little bit long, so maybe I'll just play a couple of songs. Maybe I'll just play like one more and we'll call it a night. How do you guys feel about that? All right, I'm going to take us out tonight with Bored. Also, let me know. Maybe I should get like a survey going because I would love to know. I feel like the last 2 streams especially, they've been mostly like chatting with my guests. Do you wish I was playing more music in the shows? That's totally fine if you do. Get a little bit podcasty. Okay. How do I want to play this song?
It's 4 a.m. again. You think that I could sense a trend? I'm staying up too late just so I can stay awake. Wish I weren't so self-obsessed. Wish that I could be the best. Excited with my words, but I'm nervous and I'm bored. I'm so bored of waking up. I'm so bored. Bored of what's inside my cup. I'm so bored. I'm exhausted by my heart. I'd feel good if only I could finish what I start. I'm so bored. I'm never tired in my bed. I'm so bored of these thoughts inside my head. I'm so bored. Bored of being all alone. Just hoping I find purpose in these pictures on my phone. My new habit of the week. Saying sorry when I speak. I know that it's no good. There's no reason why I should, but it's stuck inside my head. And I can't get out of bed. I don't wanna be ignored, but I'm nervous and I'm bored. I'm so bored of waking up. I'm so bored. Bored of what's inside my cup. I'm so bored. I'm exhausted by my heart. I'd feel good if only I could finish what I start. I'm so bored. I'm never tired in my bed. I'm so bored. All these thoughts inside my head. I'm so bored. Bored of being all alone. Just hoping I find purpose in these pictures on my phone. Easier to...
I'm so itchy.
Easier to throw up the flag. Well, I don't know. Beat me up for being a drag. Well, I've been dining on crazy. I'm filling up on these lies. Well, I just wish you would love me, but I keep it all inside. I'm never tired in my bed. I'm so bored of these thoughts inside my head. I'm so bored. Bored of being all alone. Just hoping I find purpose in these pictures on my phone. You look too hard, then you see it's a joke. And yeah, you think you're trapped, but it's nothing but smoke. Oh, you want it better, but you only choke. Is this all there is? 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 Is this all there?
Woo! I kind of want to play you guys a new one too. I know I said I'd end on that note, but I can never resist playing one more song. Here's one that I can barely even play, so it's a bad choice. How would I play it?
A little cottage on a cliff. You hold my hands, you kiss my lips. I know you have me, and we are happy. And in your arms I make a home. In 20 seconds you can know, but I can see how it's just a dream now. You brush me off like it's not by design, and I do what I can to draw the line. But when I close my eyes you light up when you see me again, and we make a sacred place in our bed.
Fuck.
bed, and you hold me for forever. We don't break, but we bend, and there's nothing that could take you, my friend. But we're just two ships passing in the night, and you were leaning left when I was right. What a cruel thing to do, to hold your cards, to twist the truth. Guess I misjudged you, but God, I loved you. I tried to give you what you need. I put my heart out on my sleeve, put it to rest now. It's for the best now. You brush me off like so much falling snow, and I do what I can to let it go. But when I close my eyes, you light up when you see me again, and we make a sacred place in our bed, and you hold me for forever. We don't break, but we bend, and there's nothing that could take you, my friend. And in our winter cold. What would I play? My friend. In our winter coats and in inside jokes, in the moments when you turn and touch my face, I'll give you all my love, and there's no stopping us, and we watch as everything falls into place. But that's not how our story intertwines, and I guess you're allowed to change your mind. But when I close my eyes, you light up when you see me again, and we make a sacred place in our bed, and you hold me for forever. We don't break, but we bend, and there's nothing that could take you, my friend. Little cottage on a cliff, you hold my hands, you kiss my lips. I know you have me, and we are happy.
And that's the note I'm gonna leave y'all on. And I'm out of batteries. Perfect timing. You guys, I love you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. It was a long one, I know. Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday. If you want to support the show, please check me out on Patreon, patreon.com/TessaViolet. We're going to have shoutouts at the end here. That'll probably start next show. There's a little bit of admin work that goes into that is not done yet. But yes, your name will be said here if you're supporting the show on Patreon. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Have a great night. You're amazing. Goodbye. Oh, should we go out with a song?